I think there's a couple things that are important here. One is to understand that, like anything else economic in my life, I invest for future return. And when I'm investing in dating and relationships, I don't get a financial return, but I get a lot of other potential benefits. We still have married couples and married people live longer, they're happier, they're healthier in life. So what I always remind young adults is like, yes, you are investing in dating, you are investing in a lot of first dates that don't go anywhere, but you're investing in yourself, in developing those dating skills that are going to come the more experience you get. And eventually you're investing in this person and this relationship that we know is one of the best predictors of your happiness and health later on in your life. We can't take for granted anymore that kids and teens are just going to all of a sudden know how to date, how to have a healthy marriage, because the world's different. And a lot of times it's easier for them to disconnect in their phones, to isolate from other people. And so one of the things that I've talked a lot about is we need to teach kids and teenagers and young adults better relationship skills. We need to put more effort into that, whether that's in the school system, at home. We put a lot of time into teaching kids how to drive a car, how to balance a checkbook, but we almost never teach kids how do you have a good conflict resolution with someone? How do you really listen to someone? We kind of just assume you're going to learn that, but I don't think we can assume that anymore. So we have to really focus on those skills. And then I think we just need good examples. I think kids, particularly on social media, struggle to find good examples of what stable marriages look like, what good relationships look like.
So obviously, like you mentioned, marriage increases happiness, health, a lot of good things to it. Looking at it as a whole, what kind of impact does it have on society, on the economy, things like that?
Yeah. Well, marriage is what we call a societal institution, which means that it's one of the main ways that we create stability in our culture. There's a lot of those, government creates some stability, religious institutions create stability, but marriage is one of those things that we've built a lot of our culture around, particularly when it comes to kids. We know that individuals are healthier and happier and live longer in marriage, but we know particularly when it comes to kids, almost every child outcome we look at, kids do better in stable married homes because that stability that marriage brings is really important. Having a mom and a dad, having parents that can help those kids grow and develop is really, really important. And so when it comes to the broader picture, particularly when we talk about raising the next generation and just communal living and working together, marriage is kind of the foundation of that societally. We still haven't, despite marriage rates dropping, despite cohabitation rates increasing, we haven't societally said, here's a new type of relationship other than marriage that will kind of anchor our society when it comes to family formation. So marriage is still kind of the one show in town, so to speak, which is why it remains important for a lot of researchers and scholars to say, hey, if this is kind of what we still create a lot of stability in our culture around, and particularly when it comes to kids and even individual well-being, then we need to continually think about what the health of those marriages are, which is why there's been concern about some of these trends.